When do we stop? When do we stop in life and start asking some really deep questions? Many of us are suffering from the effects of past trauma, from our upbringing, perhaps our childhood, perhaps it was an accident, perhaps it was just giving our power away and living in a relationship that was not serving us in a loving and kind way. Perhaps we have been our greatest critic with self-recrimination, self-judgment, holding ourselves back. So when do we stop and go, something in my life is not serving my highest purpose. Something in my life is not working. Because when we do that, when we stop and start to ask some very deep questions, am I on automation? Am I just fulfilling what everyone else expects of me? Am I experiencing a sense of deep peace and contentedness in my life? Or do I always feel like, I'm pushing, struggling? It's good to ask these questions, to really sit, stop, and be with what is. And when we come to this point in our life, something amazing can happen. We can start a process of self-examination and self-inquiry that will uncover who we truly are. Once we drop all the veils of habitual ways of reacting, of behaving, of responding to life, habitual ways of putting ourselves down, making ourselves less than, or perhaps the opposite, raising ourselves up in a false belief that we're better. When we stop and really take a look at the programs that we might be running subconsciously and take responsibility for that in a loving and kind way. Oh, wow, I didn't realize that I'd taken on this habit that perhaps one of my parents had, or someone I was influenced by. I've taken that on subconsciously. I'm running that in my relationships. It's not working for me. It's not loving. It's not kind. It's not truly honest. When we begin to take responsibility for where we are in our lives, and we look at the programming, the subconscious programming that's brought us to this point, it's a very exciting time. This is when great transformation can take place. And when I say transformation, I mean a dropping away of all those veils that have hidden the true, beautiful, shining, magnificent self that is here, that's the same in you as it is in here. I know, because I've been through this process. And it never stops. It's a continuation. Just a noticing, oh, okay, that wasn't really true. That wasn't totally loving. Own it. Drop it. Move back into a state of loving presence 1,000,000 times if necessary. This is how we can end up finding ourselves in a greater peace than we could have imagined, in a greater state of loving presence than we could have imagined. If this appeals to you, then you may want to join my Awakening Hearts mentorship, which is a 6-month mentorship, because I've seen that change doesn't happen overnight. We need to keep showing up for ourselves. Keep that level of aware presence there, just noticing. And each time we slip back into an old pattern, or as I call it, slip in the doo-doo, drop it. Come back to authentic, natural presence. No one to please, nothing to be but this. The Awakening Hearts program is 6 months. That includes 2 3-day retreats. That includes weekly classes online, so that wherever you are, as long as you can attend those 3-day retreats, then you can attend the Awakening Hearts program. And all those classes will be in a special access area, which you'll have on my website to practice the processes, the meditations, to catch up with any of the lectures that you might have finished, all the loving interactions and sharings. So I'll put the link here. Namaste.